morning to all the participants for the second lecture in the series 2 or 22nd in this post-lockdown period. Welcome you all. Hi Madhavi, hi Venugopal, hi Girishankar garu. Good morning to you all. KGK garu, namaste. Welcome sir. Hi Dheeraj, good morning to you. Karunakaran, Mrityunjay Kumar, Pratap, Biradar, Darshan. Good morning sir, KGK garu. Nandu, Srirama, Veera Reddy garu. Mahesh, good morning to you. Ravindra Kole, Mehboob Mulani, good morning to you. Subramanya Avla, Ashok Kumar garu, good morning. Hemant Reddy garu, good morning to you. Chaitanya, Mohammad Saif, Madina Rafiq. Hi Sridhar Babu, good morning to you. Good morning to all. Pratik, Vikaria, yeah, good morning. Tantre Suhil, Sumant, Syed Ikram, good morning. Ravindra Babu, good morning to you. Anu K. Rao, Pawan Kumar, Murari, Nobin Varghese, Yedunandan garu, good morning sir. Ravi Bhaskar Patta, Raghavendra, Jai Chandur, Kunala, Sabus Karya, Karthikeyan, good morning. Neeraj Soni, Koda Rajshekhar, Purnachandar, Nagaraju Mattangi. Hi Pradeep Dham, good morning. Shreyas Kulal, Sai Ram, Prabhat Chandi, good morning to you. Nitesh Trivedi, Meet Ladani, good morning to you all. We'll start in 2-3 minutes. Metla Srinivasarao garu, Chaitanya Gandla, Nishant Agrawal. Yeah, it's a coincidence. 22nd April and 22nd lesson. Good observation, Nishant. Mangesh Sohani, Koda Rajshekhar. Hi Durga Prasad from Kakinada. Welcome. Ashok Sharma, Datta Shiramwat, Latish Naidu, Aniket Jogande. Good morning to you all. Anil Kumar, Sunil Farkya. Hi Ramakrishna DRK, good morning to you. Ramatirtham, Arun, Pabbarti Chandi, Sanjay Kumar Chauhan, Chiti Vanan. Hi Abdul Kalam, morning. Nandyal Yashwant Reddy, Srinu Atluri. Yeah, good morning to you all. Another 1 minute, we'll start. And Dada Saheb Deshmukh, Sidhu Sundar Sauda, Mirza Sudaj La Beg, PN Hiremat. Hi DP, good morning. Welcome to you all. So it's time now, we'll start. So material planning and procurement. This is one of the most important subjects handled by civil engineers, and I have felt this is more important when one of the faculty members in a college, when I asked students to work on this project costing and materials procurement, one of the faculty felt it's not that big subject. Then I thought it's all the more important, though I have decided to give this topic 4 years back itself, because in my practice as a consultant, I feel that for the clients, it is most important to give the materials most optimally and give the procurement plan. And most of the projects go overboard on the costing because of the improper quantity survey or improper costing or methodology. So it's very, very important for any engineer in the practice to plan proper materials and material procurement. So now you can see, we'll go to the overview. The overview today is introduction to the topic and the material procurement process. I'll be touching on material management, materials list of materials. General, it's impossible to cover all the materials in a construction project, but certainly I will cover important materials. And material make, this is another important thing. I'll be covering some examples of how to give the list of makes that are equivalent, and then procurement process, and then vendor management. These are the subtopics in this material planning and procurement. So material planning and procurement is the most important thing in any construction project. Some projects get delayed because of the materials. I'll just give you a small example in Hyderabad what happened. We considered AAC blocks. Yeah, definitely. No brand names, sir. Thank you. And AAC blocks in Hyderabad, Government of Telangana through GHMC has started planning 2-bedroom housing, affordable housing for poor people. Every contractor, it was planned for 1 lakh houses, and every contractor started using AAC block. And when we started the project, the cost of AAC blocks per cubic meter was 2,700. And by the time we have procured the last material, it was 3,500. So tell me, as the engineer, should we not foresee this kind of risk in the cost? So it is very important to plan these materials considering happening around. So civil engineers, I always say, it is important for us to read newspapers and understand what is happening around us, not only our project. And it will improve the productivity in construction projects and shall be considered at all phases of construction process and throughout the construction period. So materials, we have to keep a watch on the materials, which material we are using, and we have to keep changing depending on the cost variations. And it is a dynamic process throughout the project implementation. And choosing the right material, right brand will help enhance the quality and maintain the budget and construction time. And to ensure the right quality and quantity of materials and installed equipment are as per specification and are available in the market at reasonable cost and when needed. Most of the times we keep getting this kind of request from the contractors that particular material brand specified in the contract is not available. So the process now, we are going to the next topic, subtopic, that is the process, the material planning and procurement process is starting from planning. What is the planning of material? Like when we do the drawing itself, they'll give the specifications for the material, and then we have to do the quantity survey and identification of the materials availability and procuring those materials and storing at the site and receiving and distribution at the site from the stores. So we issue the materials for construction. So this is the process. Okay. So material planning and procurement is to have the right quality of the material, right quantity, what is the amount of material that is required, and at what time you require each material. We have to plan. So it's very important time. That means suppose we were planning for one of the clients that he wanted the facility to be ready by end May, suppose, or end June. So what is the for finishing transformer, what is the delivery period, generator, what is the delivery period, elevators, what is the delivery period, air conditioning chillers, what is the delivery period. All that we have to consider and plan the procurement, when to order, because we should not procure early, we should not procure late. So right time is the important thing, and right place from where you procure the material and at right cost. So this is the objective of the material planning and procurement: quality, quantity, time, place, cost. Next is the objectives and functions of material management. So we have to manage these materials, so procurement and cost and time. Efficient material planning, buying or making. Suppose sometimes bricks, let us say, we make at the site. Concrete we make at the site, or you may procure by ready mix concrete. Which is better? Procuring and receiving, placing order and receiving time, storing and inventory control, and supply and distribution of materials, and quality assurance. This is most important process. Next is the process of material management. It starts from material planning, purchase, stores, inventory, receiving and inspection, that is MIR, material inspection reports, and value analysis, and standardize and variety reduction. That means we should try to minimize the number of items at the site, that is inventory management. Materials handling and traffic variety, that means how do you take the material to the site. And then is the disposal of scrap and surplus or material preservation for any future requirements. So these are the points that material process, procurement process will follow. Next is the material planning. The estimation, that means the quantity survey. Nowadays it has become much easier with the technology. Like if you use Revit, you will get all the material quantities required. And then once you have the quantities, once you identify the vendor, you go through the vendor procurement process. Then you have to go for ordering, and then scheduling of the material. So purchasing process is material indent, inquiry to vendors, vendor comparison. That means the quotations that we get, we have to compare all the conditions, taking into consideration all the conditions, and selection and negotiation, and purchase order, and vendor evaluation. After delivery, we have to have the feedback on the vendors. So nowadays we are seeing online, anything that you book a hotel, you book a flight ticket, anything you have a feedback. Similarly for construction also, for every vendor, at least within the organization, we should have a feedback, because we should not lose a right vendor. At the same time, we should not repeat to the wrong vendor. So vendor feedback is very important. Inventory control department decides about the type of ordering system. That means when to order, what payment terms you should have, fixing the safety stock limits. That is also inventory responsibility. How much stores capacity you have, and what is the consumption at the site, and how we'll use it. And fixing up the reorder level. That means at what period. Cement, suppose you want to order every day 50 tons, every day 100 tons. What is the requirement, and what is the storage capacity you have, and then fixing up the maximum minimum stock level at the site. The minimum required is at least 2-3 days consumption. So you have the material consumption depending on the Microsoft project schedule that we prepare, or Primavera project schedule we prepare, and we have the material requirement plan. And based on that material requirement plan, based on the availability of the material, based on the delivery time of the material, we should plan the ordering process. Next, receiving, inspection and dispatching. And this is basically the received materials when delivered by the supplier. We have to check the quantity, whether the quantity ordered has arrived or not. Sometimes weigh bridges, steel, suppose we go by weigh bridge and we do reconciliation of the steel by taking the number of bundles and length of the each bar, random check we do, and we check the unit weight of steel and then reconcile with the weigh bridge weight. This is very important, considering the rolling margins also. Check for the quality testing and check against blueprints, that is a procurement plan that is given, and finally goods will be accepted. This is the MIR, material inspection and receipt. Then value analysis and standardization. To reduce the material cost, we have to do the value analysis. And you should do the optimization of the material cost by verifying with the other vendors, in fact, I'll give you one example. I have asked my team to freeze the rate, because every day there will be a variation in the cost. I asked them to freeze the rate. So they have frozen the rate of sand, for example, fine aggregate, at certain price, and they are paying the same price. Vendor is happy because he is getting. In fact, when I checked with one of my other colleague, they are procuring at much lower price. Then I asked my team why, because they are quoting my instruction that you have ordered that we fix the price. So fixing the price is very important, but at the same time we should not keep paying the higher price. So it's very important managing the procurement. Next is the material handling and traffic thing. So planning, implementing and controlling the movement and storage of materials, routing of the materials. That means where we locate the stores and how we shift the material from the stores to the activity site. This is also very important. Disposal of scrap, surplus and material supervision. This is also very important thing. And then problems of material management. What are the issues that we face in material management? Organization structure and procurement problems, storage space, security problem, pilferage. This is the biggest thing. I had to see any project without pilferage of materials at the site. Even best of the contractors, we see pilferage happening from the stores. So this is the biggest challenge in material procurement. And availability of materials on market. And so these materials availability we should keep checking in the market due to demand supply, due to other projects also. I am seeing clearly in my phone. I am really worried why people are not able to get video, maybe because of the network issue. I want people to check their, anybody who is getting good quality, please confirm. Can anybody confirm if you are getting good quality video, that you present screen you are able to see? Some people are complaining video is poor. Yeah, thank you, sir. That means some people are not getting signal to their thing. That is why it is a problem. Because video is the second priority in any network. So if you are not getting good video, means you have a problem with many people are getting video clarity. So please don't keep writing that. You check your network signal, please. I am getting disturbed because if somebody says he's not getting, I am thinking probably It is my fault, but in my phone I am able to see clearly. Thank you. Thank you, Mandlik Garu. So undefined scope in the organization structure, lack of communication, and incomplete drawings, plans, and missing details in the drawings, which will give the wrong quantities, and a lack of conformity to the requirements, non-standard specifications. That is, in the drawing we give some material specification that is not available, and incomplete or ineffective meetings in the procurement plan, and difference between plans and specifications. So this is the thing. And the procurement problem issues to check is availability of material, availability of quantity, price reduction to match competitors' price, and late delivery, materials not delivered as per the schedule, late or incorrect submittals. That means the documentation, the quality and all. Next is the poor communication between the parties and unrealistic delivery dates. So procurement, the biggest thing is sending the right inquiry with the right specification, with the right quantity, with the delivery period mentioned very clearly. And rehandling of materials, storage areas are limited or far from working area, theft or damage during handling. This is a big problem. So handling method has to be managed properly so that the material, so we have to design the handling method also in material. So this is a typical site. In any site, normally you will have 60% construction space. So we have to plan the site office and labor camps, and then we have to plan the storage of materials, and storage space required is for large number of material, and depending on the magnitude of the project, and storage space is to keep the material periodic delivery. And security problem, loss of material through pilferage and theft, lost to the project as a whole. And then security of materials on site is very particularly high value items, copper wires. Mainly the theft happens for the copper wire. So you have to keep properly RFID also for the materials so that you don't lose the materials. So now let us look at the materials, what kind of materials we use at the site. So fine aggregate, we have fine sand, coarse sand, and stone crushed sand. So these are the sand. We should be able to decide which type of sand we use for the project for each application. Then for coarse aggregates like 40 mm aggregate, hand crushed stone or machine crushed, and then 20 mm machine crushed stone, and then 10 mm or 12 mm below downgraded. Then cement. This is why I am showing big cement bag is we engineers have to read what is all written on the cement bag. Here, for example, you have the date of manufacturing or customer care number and all. We have to read this batch number and cross check with our weigh bill. That is, source of the cement has to be cross-checked when we accept the cement, and the date of manufacturing is very important for various brands. Next is the blocks or bricks. So we have burnt clay bricks, we have Falgi bricks, we have Poroderm bricks, we have cement concrete blocks, we have AAC blocks and laterite blocks. This is mostly used in Bidar in Karnataka, and the hollow cement blocks. So these are the different types of blocks. So we have to decide which block we are going to use for the construction. And coarse rubble stone, random rubble stone, that is required, RR masonry, CRS masonry, and steel reinforcement, TMT bars or HYSD bars we have to decide. And then binding wire, GI binding wire or MS binding wire. And then cinder for filling sunken slabs or any filling, lightweight filling, we use cinder. And this is for brickbat Koba, which is brickbat used for weatherproofing. We have been discussing. And then doors, we have teakwood panel doors, and we have masonite panel doors, and we have flush doors You can see the side frame, and we have the radiata pine fillings. That means we use this filling material. These are called sectional doors, and then we have this core veneer and then fine face veneer, final finish in the flush door. If it is a veneer or a Decolom, or it can be normal ply. And then we have these PVC doors also we use for the toilets and all. And windows, we have mild steel windows, we have aluminum windows, aluminum anodized powder coated. People think that aluminum doesn't corrode. Please, we have to specify anodizing of aluminum, and we have to use the powder coating. Powder coating is a protection. Anodizing alone will not give you protection to the windows. So we have to have powder coated aluminum, anodized aluminum windows. And we have UPVC. I'm not mentioning all, I'm mentioning mostly used. We also use wooden paneled windows, wooden glazed windows. Openable, sliding, and sliding with the mesh, sliding with 3 tracks, sliding with the 2.5 tracks. Like that, we have to specify the windows. And next we have these railings, whether it is balconies or staircase. We have MS railing, we have stainless steel railing, and we have wooden railing, and we have glass railings. So we should have the idea of what are all the materials that we are using for the finishes and for the construction. Next is the flooring tiles, vitrified tiles, and we have non-skid ceramic tiles for the bathrooms, flooring, and glazed ceramic tiles. So I am showing some examples of some of the material. And we have Tandur blue stone. In fact, Tandur blue stone and Betham Charla is better than marble actually in terms of acid alkali resistance. So we should use depending on the requirement of like kitchen or bathrooms. We should not use marble because they have the highly acidic and alkaline nature exposure. And then we have this Italian marble flooring, and we have granite stone flooring, and we have granite, we have granite reconstituted like contra, so many types of materials, sandstone flooring. If you take flooring alone, there can be 100 different varieties. So we have to decide, and sandstone means quota kind of materials. And then we have these lever locks for the doors. I have estimated once for one door, the specification goes into door fixtures, 20 items will go. Like we have the locks, we have the all drops, we have the handles, all that we have to specify in our specification for the doors. Next is the door hardware. That means hinges, how many hinges we have to use and what type of material for the hinge. Is it the stainless steel? Is it aluminum? Is it brass? Like that. We have to specify the material for each one of this. We have stainless steel matte finish, we have chromium plated finish, and then we have mild steel with powder coated also. So these are all the types of materials we can use for these door fixtures, door hardware. And door stoppers, we use the door stopper here, and door locks, and this is the door closures. We have door closers also, vacuum controlled door closers, and this is also door closer. And we have so many items just for the doors itself. So we should have the idea of which specification will follow, and this has to be clearly defined in the drawing itself. Next is the storage tanks. We have the overhead tanks, we have the underground tanks nowadays, we have manholes also nowadays which are available in Syntex. And we have these STP, sewage treatment plants or septic tanks kind of things we can use, readily available material. And next is the construction chemicals, also the materials. What are all the types of chemicals we use? In one project, construction chemical budget was alone 60 lakhs. That means today's cost, it is almost like 3 crores today. In one project, which is costing about 20 crores, 3 crores we spent on chemicals. So this is the kind of costing. So we use cement repair materials like repair mortars and micro concrete and a non-shrink cementitious micro concrete also we use, and we use concrete repair materials, cement-based repair mortar and cement-based repair mortars. We use the concrete admixtures for plasticizers, admixture for retarder, and so for the concrete and plasticizing materials. And nowadays we are using for self-compacting or flow mix of the concrete. And the concrete adhesives, that is bonding agents with the concrete, and so many types of bonding agents are available. We should be aware of this. I'm sorry if I'm using specific product names, because I'm used to them. I've written those things. And sealants, polysulfide sealants for expansion joint. For polysulfide sealant, it's very important to maintain the alignment and the gap, uniform gap between the edges. So this is very important to prepare the alignment perfectly. Then only you use the sealant, because sealant is, or any polymer, is very sensitive to dimensional tolerance actually. So we have to be very careful in specifying application of the sealant. Next is the protective coatings. This we have been discussing for corrosion, anti-corrosion, and concrete also when it is exposed to corrosive weathers. And then waterproofing materials, which type of waterproofing we use. Yesterday we talked in detail. And then is the water stoppers. We talked yesterday also, again, water stoppers. And then primers used for anti-corrosion, Galvafroid, zinc-rich cold galvanizing coating is used whenever we do the welding for a galvanized materials. And chemically active primers for concrete, stone, brickwork, timber, and unglazed edges of ceramic tiles. All that we can use these primers. And then coming to sanitary fixtures. There are so many types of sanitary fixtures. This is, for example, is a P-trap wall hung. Similarly, you have floor mounted P-trap, we have floor mounted S-trap, all the kind of traps. So we should end with the flush tank or without flush tank or flush wall. These are all the specifications we have to mention. And wash basins, countersunk. This is a countersunk, countertop, or normal fixed wash basins. And then we have these plumbing fixtures, stainless steel tanks, which are used in the kitchen primarily. And then we have bib tap, and we have the health faucet used in the toilets. And we have the paper holder, we have wall mixer, we have shower arm and shower rose, different types of showers. And we have the towel ring, and we have the soap dispensers, we have the soap dish. All these materials, we are supposed to know about these materials. And then pipes, and whether it is, so we have two types, and GA galvanized iron, all different types of pipes we should know, and we should specify these pipes. And then pipe fittings. This is one of the most ignored subject. I have to come across the tender that specifies number of bends and number of things, because the drawing should go to that level. If you are using Revit software, you will definitely get the number of bends, number of reducers, number of couplers, flanges that are required, thread caps that are required, male T-joints and male elbows, all that, female loose joint, male T-joint, all types of materials. We should be aware what all we have to use in plumbing, because plumbing is mostly done by civil engineers also. And water supply fittings, these are all the coupling, female T, different material, plumbing material. And then we have sanitary pipe fittings. We use nowadays PVC or sanitary stoneware pipes, SWG pipes we use. And what are all the things, couplings and equalities, unequalities, and H pipes, and couplings, expansion joint, rainwater funnel, unequal couplings, checking the hole, all that, clamps and expand clamps. Valves, this is another thing. We have to control the water supply at certain point. So we use the valves, butterfly valves, globe valves, or gate valves, types of valves, check valves, so many types of valves, and mainly control valves. And nowadays, we have these automatic metering systems, Wi-Fi connected metering systems. Next is the electrical materials. So you may think what civil engineers have to do with this electrical plumbing, because we are the people who do the costing and we are the people who monitor installation of all these things. So we should know the terminology, we should know the material, and we should know where to use which material. This is very important. So we have the switchboards, we have the mosaic wiring devices, and we have Arthur wiring devices, and sockets. We have different types of socket, and telephone socket, we have the internet socket, and we have these MCCBs, main control switchboards. Next is the switches, different types of switches what we have, and relays. And this is another company, switches. Schneider, definitely I can make a statement, I have done the detailed check. Schneider brand switches will have the better contact and better relays. And next is the Legrand switch gears, and we have these Schneider switch gears, different. We should know what all we use where, and isolators we should know, and phase changers we should know, and we should install. And if the electrical, some clients we come across where they say that there is no electrical consultant, electrical contractor will do the job, but civil engineer is expected to supervise that. So if you are not aware of this basic thing, you should insist on basic safety controls in the electrical work. Next is the UPS that is installed in most of the works. UPS also we should know brands, and DG sets, and then electrical cables, commercial armored cables and normal cables for residential, buried armored cables. We should be aware of these things. Next is the light fittings. So many fittings are there. In light fittings itself, we have 100, 200 varieties. So which fitting we are going to use? Commercial lighting, office lighting, industrial lighting, hazardous lighting, landscape lighting, area lighting, solar lighting, clean room lighting. You know what is solar lighting? It is solar tubes. You can get the directly solar tube into the house, and each solar tube will cost about 7,500 depending on the length, of course. But you in the daytime you can use the solar tubes if you have the large areas to be covered. In industries also the solar lighting is used. And clean room lighting fixtures are different, and roadway lighting is different. And then lamps, we have fluorescent, CFL, LED, induction lamps, HID, and SV, MH lamps, and halogen lamps. These are all the types of lamps, types of fitting. And then we have light fittings, unglazed surface of ceramic, and recessed mounting. I'll take the questions towards the end because I have a lot to cover still more. And recessed mounting, type of mountings, surface mounting, that is surface flush. In false ceilings we use this. Hanging lights, we have the strip lights, we have the underwater lights, we have the downlight. Underwater lights we use in a swimming pool mainly, and downlighters, and 2 feet by 2 feet lighting fixtures in offices mainly in false ceiling, and emergency lights, wall mounting lights, high, medium, low bay lights, and floodlights. So many types of light fittings are there. So let us see these light fittings and different companies that can supply these light fittings. I'll not go into the detail, but we should be aware of each of the light fitting and its terminology, because we have to make the estimates correctly, and we have to float the tenders with the specifications correctly. Next, light fittings. You can see these different types of light fitting, surface mounting, and then office lighting. You can see types of fixtures that we use. Industrial lighting we use, and then commercial lighting in the hotels and malls and all, and street lights. These are the different types of lights we use. And then we have the clean room lighting. So clean room lighting, that means there should not be any dust collection. And industrial strip lighting, you can see this for uniform lighting, landscape lighting, and shed lighting. So this is this is designed by the electrical people, but has to be implemented by us project managers or project engineers. So they should have the basic knowledge of all these things. And the switch gears, indoor type, outdoor type, transformers, indoor type, outdoor type. We have oil filled transformers, dry type transformers, and distribution transformers and power transformer. So we should know these, how they look and how we mount them, because I have suffered as a young engineer without knowing these things. I used to design. So it's very important for us to know about these items actually. Vacuum circuit breakers, compact substations. Substation means we always see the substations that are outdoor. So we have indoor substations also. We have indoor compact substations also. And then automation, home automation. Nowadays we have the burglar alarm, security and surveillance cameras and all. It's a big thing nowadays, and it is going to be future more actually. So we need to have complete automation, lighting control, air conditioning control, heating control, all that are available now. So we have to know about these automation facilities that are available and automation systems that are available. Integrated building management system. So this is a typical circuit where we have air conditioning control here, and we have the building automation control, and like lighting and all that we can control, access control, and we have the surveillance control, and we have the system controller. So all are connected by wireless router and web server, PC based workstations, and SCADA also. So in building automation, even the fire safety, like fire detection, fire alarm, fire sprinklers and all, they are all controlled by automation systems. And we have communication, and we have solar panels, different solar panels and installation. And we have the lightning protection for all important buildings. Lightning protection and earthing has to be planned properly. Earthing is an important thing. And then firefighting. So we have the pumps for the firefighting. You must know that any firefighting system will have minimum 3 pumps. Electrical pump, backup pump, and diesel pump or jockey pump. And then we have the MS pipes and yard hydrant stand posts. And so this is the jockey pump, and we have the booster pump, and we have the hose reel, and we have landing walls. So these are all the items that we use in firefighting. And I have given more hydrant walls and fire alarm and hose reel and mask and gloves that is required, and then safety shoes. And these are all the things we have to provide for the firefighting. Sprinklers and fire buckets, all this. So this is a hose reel, fire hose cabinet, fire hose pipe, and hydrant pipes, and non-return walls, butterfly walls, flow meters, and air cushion vessel, and fire pump panel. So these are all the items that we come across. Air relief valve, and pressure gauge, fire brigade, sprinkler, and sluice valve, and control valve. So fire alarm equipment, we have this alarm CO detector, and this is the CO detector here you can see. And this is the detectors and the infrared system for early fire detection, that smoke detectors basically. And then we have the high resolution CCD digital cameras. And this is the fire alarm detectors, simple detectors. and then smoke detector, fire detection, and infrared thermal imaging, and security cameras. So many types are available, and we should specify depending on the need. Of course, the fire consultant will do that, but we should know what all are possible. And then this is the bell, and we have the beacon lights in the smoke condition, and loudspeakers, extinguishers, and fire buckets. So these are all the items. Next is the air conditioning. We also do implementation of the air conditioning and CCTV. So copper pipes, we have the fan coil units, and we have the chiller, we have the ducting for air conditioning, and we have HU fans, we have the HVAC air conditioning grills, and then fire pumps. And a ceiling suspended cassette unit, we have fan coil units, FCUs, and we have the VRV units nowadays, which we use, and air handling units which are normally installed on the terrace, chillers, and duct insulation material, and dampers. The air handling units and air conditioning insulation, different insulation materials for the ducts. And objective of this talk is not the design. We are exposing to different materials, how many types of materials we come across in a construction. My typical estimate is 2,000 items we have to handle in a typical construction site. So I am showing all the items that are required. And air grills, you will see these grills for the ducts, and we have CCTV camera, we have a cassette unit, we have dampers. These dampers dispense the air at the given location, and you can adjust the dampers. And then building services equipment, we have these cameras and mechanical fans. So we have these mechanical fans we use in parking areas where we need exhaust or fresh air supply. We use these fans in the parking areas and industries. And next is the surveillance. We have these cameras installed. We have zoom cameras. We talked about it, but what are all the items? We have to have the DVR required. And we have these high voltage, low speed fans. And we have ducting for HVAC. We have these fans in the ducts also in the HVAC, where the distances are more. Then mechanical items. We have the travelators, we have the elevators, we have the escalators. So nowadays they are mostly used in malls, these escalators and travelators. And then elevators, of course, is a common thing, capsule type and hydraulic type and automatic type elevators. So now at the construction site, the storage, how a typical storage space looks, you can imagine how tough it is to handle the materials inventory and the storage space allocated for each type of the material, and ease in access, recovering the material and loading the material, unloading the material, and transporting and taking the material to the construction site. So this is the outdoor storage space. Even for fine aggregates, bricks, blocks, we have to store the material at the site. Recently, some sand issue was there. So the contractor has not collected the sand. So olden days, the contractors, we used to dump the material first at the site, because 1 month requirement, because the sand aggregates are highly susceptible to price fluctuations. So it is the better control is to keep the material at the site, whether it is blocks or this kind of cement, steel requirements. We have to plan well ahead and store so that the project timelines are not affected due to risk in procurement of these materials. So this is another outdoor storage space. This is, as you can see, is all scaffolding, centering material also has to be stored at the site. And a scrap yard. You have to allocate space for the scrap yard also in the storage. So what kind of scrap you are going to get and what kind of material for reuse you are going to get. And this is the indoor stores where you can see the electrical cable, electrical switches, and plumbing fixtures, plumbing pipes, all material to be stored indoor. And then this is another indoor storage space, you can see, and this is another indoor storage space. And batching plant, you have the silos for storage for aggregates, cement, and material indents, typical indent forms. And whatever I have with me, I am sharing. Please don't take the names for some of the projects which we have done. So indent requirement is from the stores, and then this is another format of material indent, and this is the registers for the material consumption. So you can see concrete dispatch register, when it is dispatched, what time it is dispatched. And this is the material issue register. As I mentioned, any material, whether it is cement, steel, or any material that is used in the registers, chemicals also, you have to maintain the cumulative receipt, cumulative consumption, and balance at site. And this is the cement register. As you can see, the quantity used and quantity issued, and this is the aggregates. Even aggregates we have the register, and this is 12.5 mm aggregate, because all these registers will help us to audit the consumption and conformity to the design mix and specifications. So we have to have these registers at the site maintained. So this is the GGBS cement that is used, cement consumption register. And then now very important point, that is the vendors, list of vendors. So we have to specify for all the, if there are 2,000 items, for all the 2,000 items we have to mention at least 3 vendors which are equivalent brands. So you can see here I have given some highlighted because I can't read all the items. For example, we'll start with anti-termite treatment, first material that is used after excavation in the construction. So we have mentioned the these different names, Nosil or Montari Industries and Kidney, and synthetic enamel paint. We have specified Asian Paints, Berger Paints, ICA India. Like that, aluminum doors, Jindal Aluminum, Hindustan Aluminum section, for doors and windows, Hindustan Aluminum Corporation and Indal Aluminum. So only these materials we have approved. And floor and wall ceramic tiles, Somani, Kajaria, H&R Janssen. Like that, for every item, aluminum Mongri, Mohan Metal Industries, Argent Industries, Classic, brand and agent, oblique agent. And cement, you can see ACC Cement, Ultratech, Dalmia, JK Cement, Ambuja, Lafarge, Shri Cement. So many brands. So, and plate, rack, kitchen sink, Anupam Industries, Nirali, Diamond. And so you can see already we have reached 37 serial number. And UPVC fittings, Vinolex, Supreme Industries, Oriplast or Prince. Then barbed wire, even for the barbed wire fencing, we have given Krishna Industries, Limbani Wires, Vardhaman Steel Industries, and figured glass, Saint-Gobain, Modigard or Atul. So we cannot say single brand for any item because that leads to monopoly and the cost increase. Bitumen, VG grade, IOCL, BPCL, HPCL, we have mentioned. And polymer modified bitumen, Shival, asphaltic products, and then glass grid, McAfee environment solution. Like that, we have given so many brands here. And then joint sealant, polyurethane, Bostik India, CP Polyurethane, Choksi Chemical, Pidilite Industries, Amea. So like that. and MCCB Electrical, ABB, Schneider, Siemens, Legrand, L&T, so many companies. And then lamps and tubes, Osram, Philips, Crompton Griffiths. And DG Set engine, Kirloskar, Cummins, Caterpillar. And we have hot dipped galvanized octagonal street light poles. Even for street light poles, we have Bajaj, Transrail, Surya, Shredder. And cast iron butterfly walls, Interval, Virgo, C&R, Winco, Arco. So like this, how many brands? Here I am not giving all, but definitely we had 2000 items. For each item we have specified 3 brands, and we have to have the budgetary quotations before we include those brands, so that we are sure that that product is available and that product cost is within the costing that we have considered in the costing of the project. And then new is KV Fire, HD Fire, mobile wheeled foam unit. This is for the fire. And cable trays, Slotco, Pelco, Mac, Indian Patney, like that. So hooters in firefighting, Bosch, Honeywell, L&T, and FLP electrical strip heater. We have VK, Villeco, Navbharat. And then refrigerant drain pipe insulation, Aronaflex, Aflex, and Kflex. And filters, pre and fine filters, Pyramid, EMW, Spectrum, Clengites. And then we have these voltage stabilizers, V-Guard, Cinetrac, Sinetrac, or Blue Guard. So these are all the materials. I have just opened up, not a sequence actually, he can buy from any of this. These are all approved brand. So he has to get from the approved brand only. When there is any huge variation, we may say preferred vendor, but definitely it is the approved vendors from whomever he can get. And we collect the budgetary quotations, and in case the contractor claims anything out of these 3, when we insist, we are sure that we are using the right brand at the right level. And lead statement, next important thing is I have given the brand names for all the branded materials. Now we are talking about aggregates, sand, coarse aggregates, stone. So there we have to go by the lead chart. So we specify the location of the material and lead, and we estimate the cost considering the lead. So this is the lead charts for aggregates. If cement also is not available in the nearest place, if we don't have the quotation for supply in Hyderabad, then we take the quotation, and from there we take the lead cost. Next is the vendor management. So this is the vendor profile and risk assessment we have to consider, and vendor audits and certification, and non-conformance corrective and preventive actions if any vendor is not conforming with our requirement, and product sampling and test results, and performance monitoring and reporting. This is the very important aspect of vendor management. So to identify the qualifications of a good supplier, identify appropriate supplier selection technique, identify potential disadvantages of single sourcing, and to analyze how to reduce the number of suppliers also, because we cannot manage 10 suppliers, and to learn about strategic suppliers relationship management. Yeah, it can be done, but we have to specify the brands for quality assurance. Importance of material management, lower prices of material, and faster inventory, continuity of supply, reduced lead time, reduced transportation cost, and less duplication of efforts. And elimination of bulk passing, reduced materials obsolescence, and improved supplier relationship, and better interdepartment coordination, cooperation, and personal development. So this is the quotations normally we collect from vendors for different types of products that we require. It's only the vendor management technique I am showing, and quotations, how the supply, installation, taxes and all we prepare, and then we give the details of their quotation, what size they have given, what specification they have followed, and then different vendors quotations we take, and we compare these quotations. We prepare the comparative sheet for each of the vendor and the final cost for the thing, and we finally recommend. So here you can see vendor 1, 2, 3, and what each item, what is the cost coming. So here there is so much of variation you can see, and that variation we have to analyze why that variation is coming. Has he understood the spec correctly? Are all giving the same specification and all that? So this is the comparative statement finally, and we give the client recommendation for which vendor has to proceed with. And this is the work order preparation, and work order against comparative statement we prepare, and we issue the work order. So next is the vendor management tool. Somebody was asking me. In fact, I have conceived in year 2000, this Build Nova. I felt the challenge then itself in the year 2000, but probably I was too early. The objective was to provide facilitation for vendors for planning, design, procurement, and management. And even the jobs, services, real estate were there in that portal. Even today you can see that portal, buildnova.com. And we have designed the database for that. So this is how it looks. Here we have given all the materials and all the vendors. Of course, I didn't pursue it later. Probably I may launch it again. So we will plan proper procurement through this kind of portals. Now we have Alibaba, now we have Amazon, you have so many online portals, but not focused to construction. So there is a good scope for vendor management for construction. So we can show the materials online, suppose flooring tiles, how they look and what price you can get. This actually requires everyone to tag on and everyone to utilize it, whether it is procurement or vendors or service provider. If they all connect through this portal, automatically you will get the best products at the best price. So thank you very much. And now I'll take the questions if you have any questions. Thank you, sir. KGK Garu, it is very important to have excellent flow of material during different stages of execution because of all material cannot. Yeah, that's right. Procurement planning and scheduling is very important. Hi, Vinayak Pai. Good morning to you. Material supply also there is for better quote. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Kataukar. Which flooring material do you recommend for 30 meter by 50 meter marriage hall? Natural stone. I recommend. Which location? Depends on the location. And presentation. Not all-rounder, I am a civil engineer. So I am talking all the things that every civil engineer should know. Do take a session on assessing any old building. We have a talk on that also. One topic is there. If lockdown extends, I have 56 topics. And already planned for 35 so far. And yeah, thank you, Madhavi. I feel that every civil engineer, whatever 56 topics I'm talking, I have 56, 60 topics. I feel that every civil engineer should know all these things, irrespective of wherever. Yeah, vendor management is part of ERP actually. You can check any ERP modules. Can you describe list of material wastage? Yeah, for example, steel is 2%, cement is 3%. They are specified in the codes actually, respective codes. We can't generalize for all the materials. Need to reuse the leftover material to save earth. I see a lot of good material samples. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. No extension. Very. Thanks a lot. There is a chance. Please take methods of rehabilitation. Yeah, we'll do it. Can we use Tandur bluestone flooring for chemical lab? Chemical lab, difficult. We have to test these flooring materials for absorption, wear and tear resistance. Civil engineer comes first to site and leaves last. Yeah, correct. It is the civil engineers. Update PDF in box drive before class. Yeah, that's right. You can. We are loading. It is every day we are loading, and I am sharing in WhatsApp and Telegram groups. Morning itself I have shared today. Vitrified tiles tolerance in mm. Is it level or dimension? Dimension is 1 mm maximum. Hi Gaurinath. Use of re-rolled reinforcement? No, never, not for structural application. Don't use re-rolled steel. You have to go for integrated plant. Material consumption control at project. Yeah, that's right. That can be done through registers, material registers. Betamcherla is also good. Yeah, that's right. It's a good stone. Acid alkali resistance is good. Yeah, thank you, Suresh. Hi, Prashant. Yeah, thank you, Saju Abhi. How to judge equivalent in case of different brands? Yeah, we have to give the specification equivalence in terms of price, equivalence in terms of technical specification. Yeah, stores management is another subject, inventory management, that is, and role of engineer in scrap selling. Yeah, we have to facilitate actually. We have to manage that. Use of ready-made plaster is cheaper than regular plaster. Definitely wastage is reduced, thickness is reduced. How to check M25 RMC concrete at site? So yeah, we have to take the cubes and we should be able to judge by seeing the quality of the concrete and design mix conformance. Before dispatch itself, you should verify the batch sheet. ERP. I have developed one ERP also, by name MyInfra. Can we do core cut in post tension slab? Yeah, it can be done. It has to be designed, a method statement has to be developed. In some projects, even though 2-3 brands are given, additionally equivalent brands may also be used. That is a very big process as per CVC actually. If any contractor wants to change the laterite block, sandstone, available in Bidar area to my knowledge and many other places. How we can differentiate civil engineers and mason? Yeah, if civil engineers have more knowledge, definitely we differentiate. Mason is nothing actually. Mason is a worker, skilled worker. Materials in government projects, pilferage will be more. Yeah, that's right. How to check? Follow the process. Use river sand. No, river sand is not a compulsion. Please, I have been using crushed sand for last 20 years almost. Lesson on concrete mix of M70. Yeah, that goes into super specialization actually. I am covering general requirements of a civil engineer and what I learned in 30 years. Minimum cement content requirement in concrete mixes. That is given in IS code, 300 kgs minimum. False ceiling materials. Thank you, Durga Prasad. I missed it. I'll add it for future actually. Good suggestion, Durga Prasad. Gypsum for retaining wall, which waterproofing will be suitable? Membrane. Membrane is better always, or polymer based coating. Fire door. Yeah, fire door also I missed here. Fire rating 30 minutes and 2 hours fire rating is minimum as per NBC. And tolerance bend in vitrified tiles. between two tiles. That is not more than 1 mm. How services are done in precast walls will be pre-designed. Yeah. No, suggest not to do any chasing in precast walls. What is the difference between nominal mix? Nominal mix is volumetric prior to IS 456-2000. 456-2000 insists on design mix. Inputs, any specific inputs for materials cost theoretical versus actual. Actually, any theoretical cost will be higher. That means the contractor who is actually procuring will get better price always than a consultant estimating the cost. So estimated cost is theoretical cost, sir. So actual cost should be lesser than estimated cost. Can we use integral admixture for concrete for waterproofing? It can be, but it is only secondary. In fact, when you use fly ash and GGBS, the porosity will be less in the concrete. So there will be less need for integral waterproofing. Technical audit report. Make good. How to make good technical audit report? Yeah, we have some reports. What is the most recommended terrace waterproofing? It is a big challenge actually, but yes, membranes are now the best, and then you have to go for insulation and 2 layers of membrane. For decaying wood, yeah, you have to identify the source, and Muhammad Ishaq, you have to identify the source and then cut the source first and then repair all that. For main gates, yeah, main gates, it is MS steel we use. For large area of vertical tiling, dado, can we use with cement, or is it mandatory with chemical? Yeah, we can use it with chemical tiling. Yeah, it's not mandatory. We can use with cement also, not a problem. Establishment of QC lab at site of work. This I covered in quality control. It is required for large projects, project above 50 crores. New construction materials. Yeah, we have a different talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. I'll close it at this, and tomorrow we'll meet again slightly before 11. Thank you. Bye.